Hi, I'm Antonio Centeno, the founder of Real Men Real Style. And we've got a question we're going to be answering today. Basically, it's about how do you dress professionally but still dress casually? So the question goes, I rarely wear a tie. It's not the uniform of my profession, high-tech enterprise system software development, even at the executive level. But we do wear them occasionally. What I'm really interested in is learning how to dress well for both casual, weekend, and especially how to just appear a step above business casual, really. I think I read that you're from Austin, Texas. And so you're familiar with the step down casual culture there, where people are still judged by how they look, but it's much more casual. Over the years, I've fallen into the trap of dressing like the rest of the poorly dressed crowd. You've inspired me to change all that. Well, thank you very much. And I'm learning a lot from your website, writing, and videos. Thank you. Well, thank you. I really appreciate it, guys, when you send me kind notes like that. I mean, we actually put a lot of work into all of this, and it means a lot to me. Well, let me get to the question. So, how do you dress professionally but still dress casually? Well, look at me right here. So, I've got a jacket on, I've got a dress shirt. No tie. I have to admit, I'm not really much of a tie guy, even though I'm a custom clothier by trade. When I'm not having to wear one, I don't wear one. I think if you want to step up your business casual or your casual dress, you need to go back to the 3 pillars of men's style. And in case you haven't heard me say this before, fit, fabric, and style. And each of those, I mean, I could write and I have probably written an entire article on each of them. So let's talk about fit. So go through and immediately look at your clothing. And if you're wearing anything that doesn't fit you, take it and put it to the side and ask yourself, can this be adjusted to fit me better? And if it can't, you need to get rid of it. And you need to buy clothing that fits your body for how it is. Oftentimes I get men that come in and they're like, oh, well, I'm going to lose 30 pounds here in the next 3 months. Well, until you lose that 30 pounds, if you ever lose that 30 pounds, you have to have something to wear today, because you can't be walking around naked for 3 months. So, well, I guess you could, but you're going to get arrested, or unless you live in a nudist colony. But what I'm getting at is dress for how your body is now. And if you're bigger, if you're thin, there is a right way to dress for your body type. And I talk about this elsewhere, but just make sure your clothing fits. Take it to a tailor. It's one of the least expensive things you can do to really up your style. The next F is fabric. Okay, when I mean by fabric, I don't mean like finding some special fabric which is going to solve all your problems. I mean pay attention to fabric. Go for quality items. There's a difference between an Old Navy polo shirt and a polo shirt that's coming out of a luxury department store, which is made from like a super Pima or an Egyptian cotton that just feels beautiful to the touch, is actually made to fit your body type better, isn't going to, isn't made to fit a square body type. If you have a square body type, then that's the kind of clothing you want. What I'm getting at is pay attention to the different types of fabrics and how some fabrics, smoother fabrics, solids, those appear more formal. And that's what you want if you want to step up your game. Avoid the clothing that, well, it looks like it's made for a teenager, or it looks like it's made for a man in his, not even early 20s, in my opinion. Start dressing and finding fabrics which look better on you. Because black fabric is not the same. I mean, there's cotton, there's tropical wools, there's gabardines. Go out there and learn about the different fabrics and then find something, maybe pay a little bit extra, but every time you wear those, gray flannel trousers, they look great. Because a lot of the times if it's a casual environment, men are wearing jeans. Well, why not step that up? Maybe go with raw denim. Yes, it's going to cost more, but it looks a lot, I think, dressier than a lot of washed or worn denim. If you want to really step that up, and everyone's going to be wearing, khakis or Levi's or Dockers, how about look at some gray flannel trousers? And they're different than dress trousers because these actually have a little bit of a texture to the fabric. So pay attention to fabric. Last thing, fit fabric, style. So look at the style of the item, and perhaps if you're always wearing really, the same if you find that you're wearing the same dress shirt again and again, I'm talking the style where you've got the pocket on here, where you've got the point collar, I mean, there's nothing exciting about it, perhaps look at a higher end designer dress shirt, something made by, let me think, Zegna or some Brioni or one of those. The Italians, they're always good to look to when it comes to good quality and kind of cutting edge style. You don't want to go with something that's really fashionable that you're not going to be able to wear next year, but something that is classic, but little details about it make it stand out. The style, maybe it's got a little bit of a spread collar, or it's got a collar with a little bit of a contrast color on the inside, or maybe the style, maybe the buttons are unique. They're a little bit heavier buttons, mother of pearl, coming out of maybe Australia, that are a bit thicker. Little things like that are going to set you apart. So how do you still be casual and set yourself apart and go to the next level? It's not the big things. It's paying attention to the small details, because you add up all those small details and they make a big difference. I forgot to mention, but pay attention to your shoes. I've written about shoes. There are books on shoes. Men need to invest in some good quality footwear. I mean, look at some Italian moccasins, some tassel loafers. Something like that is really going to up your game. They look a lot better. I mean, you see everyone pushing out Converse and things like that. That's okay if you're in your early 20s. But if you're a man in his early 30s, late 20s, early 40s, 50s, a pair of Italian moccasins, saddle shoes, those are really going to set you apart. And believe it or not, it's almost as important. If not, I mean, you stand on those. That's your foundation. So pay attention to your footwear. Maybe I should have said that's the fourth thing, because I talked about it for a while. In any case, I hope that helps you set yourself apart in a casual atmosphere. And now, if you'd like more information, if you've enjoyed this, make sure to subscribe up above. We're constantly putting out new videos. In addition, over at Real Men Real Style, you can join my email list. And on my email list, I put out exclusive content, which I don't even put out here at Real Men Real Style or any of my other websites. And only on my email list where you get a lot of the tips and tactics and stuff that we don't mention elsewhere. So make sure to join that email list. It's pretty exclusive, and become a member, or subscribe here on YouTube. Thank you. Bye-bye.